Portland, Oregon is among the least churched parts of the country. It's a very politically progressive place, as our city leaders say. So what does it look like to proclaim the good news, to live out the good news in a holistic way in a place like that?
One of the cool things that's happening in Portland is that there's a genuine sense of relationship among the pastors.
I think the collaborative spirit that we have and just this kind of nature of friendships among pastors and churches is really unique to the Portland story.
It's really allowing the church to be the church. And we're actually being viewed as a resource, which we know we are and we ought to be.
People are receiving love and receiving Jesus. And it was all because we just really wanted to serve.
There were about 4,000 volunteers who plugged into compassion clinics last year. And there's about 200 churches represented by those volunteers. And the Palau Association has been, I would say, one of the biggest encouragers of our nonprofit organization. You know, they had the idea for City Serve in 2008, and they came to us and saw a model in a small neighborhood that was working, and they said, will you share that model with other communities around the Portland metro area? They had the means to shed a light on something that works and help it replicate.
Embrace Oregon is an idea, it's a movement, and it really started with the idea that the community could come alongside with something tangible for children in this most vulnerable time of waiting. And the response that we got through this Welcome Box initiative was just so completely overwhelming.
To see how God has used not only fostering those children and learning just how to love them and how special they are, but also doing renovations and remodels and foster parent nights out and all that stuff. And God kind of blew it up into this huge thing.
It's been incredible that less than a year later, there are 72 churches in the Portland metro area that are saying, we at some capacity are committed to shining a spotlight on the needs of child welfare.
How in the world can we connect all 471 schools in this greater Portland area with at least one church partner that says, that's my school?
One of the first things I was told about Oregon was it was one of the most unchurched states in the nation. And so, to my surprise, to come and see a church working on a school campus in this community was a bit of a shocker.
In these 2 years, we've been able to identify about 250 of those schools that have a church that's raised their hand and said, that one's mine.
It's evolved into, years later, from an act of service to an ongoing relationship. It's provided stability in a community that typically, experiences turnover, but to see that this has remained steady is a gift and a blessing.
We want every school to know, hey, I've got this 1, 2, 3, 4 church partners that I know I can count on. They're part of what we're doing here. They're part of this school community.
We work with 1145, which is a collaboration of several churches where we put grandmas and young people and older folks, as whoever's willing, to walk in what we call hot spots. And we just kind of lovingly walk in those areas, talk with people, make friends, pray, and it serves as a deterrent to prevent some of the activities that would go on in those type of areas, and also provide support and help to at-risk, underprivileged young men and women to try to give them a better chance to succeed in life and ultimately come to know Christ.
We're not here to fix Portland. That would just be overly tiresome. We are here to display the love of God.
The greatest way to soften hearts for the gospel is to be in relationship with people. We have to genuinely know them. They need to know us. It takes time, it takes energy. Jesus modeled that for us.
Every weekend we see people come to Jesus in our services. But most of the people we see come to Jesus on the weekends are because they came during the week and we minister to them. We have relationships with these people, and they've seen that we love them by our actions. And so then we stand up and talk about Jesus, they actually believe the words.
Churches are together saying, what does Portland look like in 20 years if we are together for the gospel?
All together we are the body, not just my individual local church, but all of us together. We're the body of Jesus in this city.
And that has just really helped a lot of pastors see not a competitive mindset, but really an abundance mindset where we're partnering together.
I've been a pastor for 25 years. I've never really seen pastors work that closely together, nor have that type of working relationship with our city.
And I think we're just scratching the surface as far as what we can do in collaboration.
The longer we do it, the quicker real movement type of outcomes happen. The years that it took to organize the public school kind of ministries where churches working with, took several years to really get that running. Where foster care, it was 18 months from 3 couples, 72 churches, 18 months. So that's powerful. You realize when the church is mobilized, it really is an unstoppable force.